What's cracking, everybody? Today we are checking out the Asics Gino Iannucci Leggerezza. I don't really know how you pronounce that, but the box is super cool. They got Gino pushing right here. This shoe caught my eye because it does look like something I would skate. Got the thin cup sole here. It is leather. It comes in this colorway, and also I thought it was a black colorway, but it's almost like a dark blue. I ended up ordering both. Shout out Black Sheep Skate Shop for actually carrying size 7.5, so I appreciate you. But I ordered them from down there, so it's not a sponsored video or anything. I just wanted to try this shoe out. I think it looks sick. Gino, super sick. Collaboration is just cool, and at least see how it feels and let you guys know my thoughts on this shoe. I'm gonna rip this tag off here though, so that's not flopping around. It is kind of windy today, unfortunately, but this shoe straight off the rip just kind of reminds me of like a Booznitz type shoe or the Gel Vica. I did skate the Asics Gel Vica and did a video on that a few months back. I have that one here with me. This is the Gel Vica, and then this is the Gino. I'm gonna be calling it the Gino because, to be honest, I don't know how to say this word right here. Shape of them, very similar. I feel like the Gino is almost like a beefed up version of the Vica. This shoe's very thin all around. Like here on the inside walls, it's very thin. Like there's like no tongue basically. It's just a very thin shoe. When I saw this thing coming out, I was like, I know how much I liked skating that shoe, and this shoe just feels like it has a little more to it. Like a little bit more padding, not much, but you can see these inside walls a little bit thicker here. The tongue I'm actually super stoked on because that was one of my complaints with the Vica, is that the tongue was like too small, especially for someone who wears like baggier pants. Your pants constantly just fall over the whole shoe. This actually having some structure and being able to tuck your pants behind here, I think would look really good. It almost reminds me of like a Booznitz a little bit, except instead of the Booznitz where it's like a piece of paper almost, like that tongue is super thin. Once you get to the top of it, it's just like flops everywhere. This thing actually has a little bit of padding throughout the whole thing and will hold its structure a little bit better, which is cool, and I look forward to seeing how that feels. As far as overall like design and shape of the shoe, it's very pointy, but the Vica was also very pointy, and I do like skating pointier toe, or at least I did. I know I have been skating these strike movements, which have a super wide toe box. So I'm curious going back to like a thin, narrow, pointy shoe, how that's gonna feel, or if that's gonna affect me at all, and see what I would like. Because shout out Strike Movement, they actually were kind enough to send me a few more pairs of shoes that I am definitely gonna eventually skate, but I also wanna skate things that are new and that I think I wanna try out. That's the whole point of doing these videos. But overall design of the shoe, I read somewhere that it's inspired by an old Asics soccer cleat, which you can fully tell. As far as the sole goes, it has this stitching around the sole here, which I'm curious if that has any effect if these stitches rip. It is a little bit thicker of a sole than the Vica. I wonder if the insole comes out. The insole is glued. It's either glued or stitched down, which is unfortunate. I hate that because I always like to see, but there actually does seem like they're like not really the insole, but where it's blue in there is super squishy. It's almost like an insole below the insole. Feels pretty cozy actually. I haven't had it on my foot yet, but it feels cushiony to push on. Overall design of the shoe, I dig it. I'd like to see it in suede as well. I think both colorways right now are in leather. It would probably last longer in leather, but at the same time, more skaters gravitate towards suede in my opinion, or I do at least. That's just me. Also, for this being a new shoe on the market, it comes in at just $105. I say only, but that's because the last couple of shoes that I've been skating, $130, $140, pretty expensive shoes out there right now. So for Asics and Gino to put out something that looks really sick in my opinion and is backed by an OG legendary skateboarder at $100 or $105, that's, I feel like, an ideal price point. But yeah, I'm gonna lace these things up and then I'll see you guys in the parking lot and we'll go over how they feel on my feet and we'll skate some flat ground and get it cracking from there. So we are all laced up. I really like how they look. They look like they have a really long toe, like longer than I'm used to, or it's just because, like I said, I haven't skated a shoe like this in a little while. I'm really liking the extra tongue because, like I said, on the Vica there was like no tongue that stuck up at all. So for this to have a little more pop to the shoe, I really like that. The quality of the leather is very good. If you remember what I said with the Tyshawn 2s when I was skating those, the leather feels like you're in like a luxury car almost, a very soft quality leather. Same thing with these, it feels the same. And the other thing is just lacing them up. I realized how narrow this shoe is. I had to like untie all of the laces or like, you know, stretch them out so that I can even get my foot in there because that's how narrow this shoe is. And like once I have it on, it feels like with sizing, I have enough room in the toe, like it feels comfortable, but it does feel like it's kind of squeezing my foot a little bit, which I don't remember feeling in the Vica. I can tell there is a little more cushion in the sole though. When I like rock back and forth, I can feel a little bit of that like softness in the heel, which is nice, but then by the toe and the ball of the foot, it does feel pretty thin. But yeah, I'm gonna start skating some flat ground and get a feel for these things, so let's get it. right, off the rip, they feel very thin. With it being thin though, I'll tell you the board feel, you feel everything, which is pretty cool. That's a positive, but also if you're trying to jump down something, or if you land weird, you land primo in this shoe, it's probably gonna hurt like a bitch. If you know, you know, but I'm doing tray flips. Tray flips before kick flips always. Whoa, that was a weird one. And now I don't know if this is from like coming from those strike movement shoes or not, but it feels like it doesn't hurt, but it's the impact is like you feel it more or something. And I don't know if that's just because it's a super thin shoe and I haven't skated like a real thin shoe like that in a while, but that was the first tray flip that actually felt good. Now we do a little stretching for the kickflip. Kickflips are harder than tray flips, man, that's for sure. I'm nervous. This is such a pointy shoe right here. Oh, it felt good. All right, three in a row, man. Good sign in a new shoe. Switch flips are the one that usually grip the most. Yeah. The second I flicked, it was like all my feet. Switch flips for some reason always grip a lot more than regular for me. Dude, holy crap. That was the wind. Blaming the wind on that one. I'm trying to come the other way. It's super windy. It's funny though, like with it being such a pointy shoe, I remember why I like pointy shoes in that way. It's like the flicks are so precise. It's such a small point that you're flicking off of. You hit the right spot of your board, it's just perfect. Like no extra, nothing wide flicking off where it can hit other parts of your board. If you get that right flick in a pointy pair of shoes, it's just perfect. That felt kind of weird. I like whiffed the flick on the heel flip for some reason. I don't know, I feel like the sole's actually kind of slippery, especially on like the pavement. When I'm pushing, like I don't know, it's almost slippery. Oh. There we go. The switch flips are expected to be missed sometimes, but switch heels shouldn't be missing. Whoa. That was like not how I usually frontside flip at all. It's a little better. That was the best one I've done so far for sure. Flick felt really good on that one. I just wheel bit the shit out of it. Actually, I think I underturned. I don't even think I wheel bit. Oh, again, fuck. Oh my God. Every single shoe video that I've done, I do feel like I've had to have missed the most flat con tricks right now in these. And I don't know why. I don't know if that's because the shape of the toe is just so drastic compared to what I just was skating. And it's gonna take some more getting used to, but it's just inconsistent. Like one switch flip feels great, and then the next one I almost like whiff the whole thing. I don't know if I'm like not hitting the right spot of the board or what, but same with the fakie flip. I like missed a fakie flip. Never miss fakie flips really. So like that's something that I feel like the shape of the shoe is maybe causing, or the thinness, I'm not sure. But anyway, we're gonna get into the park. So far, I feel like I just have to get used to it more. And look at all this rust. That's ridiculous. I was trying to grind off some of this rust. Haha, holding it. Try to get a little switchback tail shove action. Trick feels so cool. I feel like at this point you guys know it's pretty standard with these shoe videos to basically get a few of my like favorite tricks, my kickflip back nose grinds, kickflip front crooks and stuff like that, just to make sure the shoes flick good and feel good for me personally. And if I can't do my favorites, then what's the point of skating that shoe, you know what I mean? And we'll see how they're flicking. Not bad. I was more just curious on how it was gonna feel. Ah, 50. Damn it, again. I bring it back with the kickflip front crook first tee. Probably could have, got a shit angle. Too bad, it feels okay. I think the biggest thing for me right now is just how different they feel from the strike movements I was skating. And I don't know, like going to the strike movements didn't feel as weird as this feels now going back, if that makes any sense. I don't know why I'm walking over here. Let me get this skateboard front crook. Well, that worked chill. That was essentially first try, except for the shitty angled first one, but I don't gotta talk about that one. Felt like my nollie flips were decent in the parking lot, so I want to try and get a nollie flip crook. Some days it works easy, some days I do like 500 nollie flip nose slides before I actually get into crook. See how it goes. And it's kind of just trusting the flick with new shoes. A little weird. I think it's fine. It's more in my head. Horrible. Dude, I don't want to say it. I'm going to say it, but I don't know if it's just a break-in thing and the shoes have to break in more, but they're hurting my heels. Like the back of my heels, like I feel like my feet are jammed. I don't know, I didn't have this problem in the Gel Vica where they're pointy, but they feel like my foot can't get to the front of the shoe, so it's constantly like pushed to the back of the shoe because it's so narrow and pointy that my heel is real up against the back part of the shoe. So like when I flex like this, it's really pulling on my heel and I feel it. I mean, it's not terrible, but I feel it. How's the first nose slide get in? I feel like I want to constantly go like this and jam my feet towards the front of the shoe more because it's pulling so hard on my heels. Nose slide number 2. There we go. Not too many nose slide mishaps. Flick does feel really good in these shoes. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of know, like, not that I think switching to a wider toe box really changed much about my flick, but when I go back to something like this, it still flicks just as good. It comes down to the comfort of the shoe. All right, now I'm trying to think like what would Gino do? And I don't know if he would do this, but to me, he has one of the best backside flips in the game. That one that he does, I don't know what school it's at, but it's like the bump over the planter flat thing. Blasts a huge backside flip. One of my favorite backside flips ever done. I don't know really what I could do it on here, but I'm gonna try to backside flip over the barrier. It's super windy today though, so I'm probably just gonna be battling the wind more than I am battling the trick. But let's try to get a backside flip in the Ginos. My shin. Oh, that one got me good. I thought I was gonna land it and then just over rotated the slightest bit. Right into my shin, dude. Shinners. Ow. A little extra carve out. I don't know if I carved out a frame or not. What does it make though? That was better, I think. I have to watch the footage. It didn't feel like my usual backside flips. I feel like I caught it a little weird, but it felt clean at least. All right, so let me be real and break it down for you guys. First off, didn't do as much skating as I wanted or planned to today, and we'll get into that in a second. But the things I did like about this shoe, I felt like it had really good flick, amazing board feel, but that also comes with the fact that it's very, very thin. Like I would not be jumping down any sort of stairs or nothing like that in this shoe. That being said though, if you skate mainly ledges, you skate flat ground a lot, more of a tech skater, manny skater, really good shoe. It does feel like it's gonna hold up pretty well. I mean, again, I didn't skate too much today, but I did more kickflips and tries than I showed today, and they're holding up all right. Switch one with the nollie flip crooks and all that stuff, I mean, not bad at all. It's getting some scuffs there, I guess, with like switch ollies, switch heels or something. I don't really know what that is. The other thing I really like about this shoe is the tongue situation. I feel like they fixed my biggest issue with the Gel Vica, which was the tongue. The tongue on the Gel Vicas like doesn't work for people like me or how I like to wear my pants and my shoes. Visually, to me, I think it looks so good. My main thing with this shoe, and maybe I just have to give it more time, but I don't want it to get worse. They hurt my heel. More on my right than my left, and that's probably my pushing, foot. So when my foot bends from pushing, I think it pulls really, really hard on the heel. And what I was trying to explain earlier is that with the shoe being so narrow, and I keep saying that like it's a bad thing. Like I used to skate a lot of narrow shoes. I skated the Gel Vicas and I didn't have this happen. It feels like my foot is sitting super far back in the shoe because it's not able to slide forward because this is so narrow. It fits good, like it's the shoe size I should have gotten. My toes aren't jammed to the top or anything. The only time it feels good is for like a half a second when I tap my toes into the ground so that my foot slides forward and then I get a try in. That's really what I was doing between tries. And I don't know if that would be for everybody, but I didn't want it to get worse. And I took a little video of my heel and you could see like the redness, and I don't want to get a blister on my heel. It's not what I want to do. But yeah, that's basically how they feel on me personally. I think that if you don't have that problem when you try this shoe, you're gonna like the shoe, especially if you've skated gel Vicas in the past, because I really like the gel Vica and it skates similar to that. It just has a little more padding around everywhere. Overall quality, I think it's good quality shoe. But yeah, that's my overall thoughts on the shoe. I think that it could work for you if it doesn't hurt your heel. You'll probably love this shoe. I like the build quality. I love it visually. I think it looks so sick. I'm not trying to get a blister, man. Nobody wants that. That doesn't mean it'll happen for you though. If you're interested in trying this shoe out, give it a shot, especially if it feels like you like a pointier and like a thinner cup sole shoe. You'd probably really enjoy this one. Because skate-wise, flick-wise, all that stuff, I did like the shoe. And I bought 2 pairs of them. So now I'm kind of stuck with 2 pairs of them. I'll probably give them another shot down the road, but for right now, going to China next week on a 2-week trip, I'm not trying to have like my feet hurting and stuff like that, so I'll probably just skate what I'm used to. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace, yo.